Hey everybody, welcome to this call, AMZ and Beyond. This is taking your Amazon, your e-commerce business to the next level. My name is Dave Kettner and Norman Farrar. We have an awesome webinar plan for you guys today. Lots of great content that you're going to be able to implement right away and strategies. Let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and tell us who you are, please.
My name is Norm Farrar. People call me the Beard Guy. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've been in the business for about 30 years, but just different areas, all sorts of different companies, ranging from manufacturing to promotional marketing to specialty manufacturing to specialty packaging, fulfillment. But I've got a lot of experience in brand and e-commerce businesses. I also am a seller. I have my own brands on Amazon, coach, mentor for some private clients, and I work with Dave as the co-founder at AMZ and Beyond.
So anyway, my name is Dave Kettner. Those of you guys that don't know who I am, that's a picture of myself with me and my wife right there in Hawaii, one of our favorite places to be. I've been doing this for a long time, but internet marketing since '98, first e-commerce site in 2003. Been doing this full-time for about the last 9 years now. Been private label selling on Amazon for about 4.5 years. Been doing very well, as you see, 7-figure Amazon seller. Started right away, became a great student, and just took it and ran with this. I'm a coach, a mentor, also a power affiliate. Sought off after speaker at different places. Maybe you guys have seen me speak. I enjoy doing that. Co-founder of AMZ and Beyond, and with Norman Farrar. So let's go ahead and jump to why we are here. We are very passionate about helping other people. We don't need to be doing this, but we love doing it. We have had people help us in the past. We achieved the success that we achieved. And so we love helping other people achieve their own successes. So we're here to help others. We see that there's a need as well. There's a lot of people that are out there that I call either floundering or struggling Amazon sellers. They need guidance. They need support. They need a guiding light to help them get to the places that they want to get to. And there's so many people out there, so-called gurus, teaching the wrong information, misguiding people, and it's got to stop, because too many people out there trying to get the next shiny object. They're trying to get something through an application or a person or training that it doesn't exist. It's not good. So we want to stop that. We want to actually help you get to a better place quicker. So with the abundance of all the opportunities that are out there as well, we want to be your guiding light to get you to where your success is going to be in your business. So that's why we're here. And our goals for this webinar, very simple. We want you to be able to take strategies that you can use now and put them into place, making them happen for you so you can increase your sales. We're going to be going over 5 specific strategies. 4 of them you're going to have SOPs with that you're going to get over the next day. We're going to give it to you so you can actually then take and directly implement it and be able to make it happen, get some more sales in your business. We're going to show you how that having a mentor and a mastermind group can truly impact your business and help guide you to achieving the goals that you want to achieve. And then we're also going to give you that opportunity to work with us at the very end, giving you the training and guidance that you need to take your business to the next level. If it's something you guys want to do, those offers will be there for you at the end. If not, I just hope you take this information and run with it. So I have to say this, we have to do this for every kind of webinar we do. It's a disclaimer. I'm not going to read it in its entirety, but it's there so you guys know that most people in this business are considered they're not going to take this information. They're not going to achieve some of the results that we talk about, because a lot of people are just average, right? We are beyond average. We go out there and take action and make it happen. I hope you guys are too. But we cannot predict your success because we don't know what you're going to do, if you're going to take action or not. We hope you do, but we can't tell you based on what we're teaching if it's going to work for you or not. It really depends on what you do. And we also want to make sure that you know that AMZ and Beyond is not affiliate in any way with Amazon, Amazon.com, or any of their trademarks. We are very separate from them. We are just going to teach you how to better sell on Amazon and off of Amazon as well. So what are these strategies here that we're talking about that you're going to learn today? These are them listed right out. You're going to learn a simple Amazon sponsored ad trick that's going to help you catch lost sales. It's going to be a PPC method that you can do that's totally separate from everything else that you're doing. We're going to show you a cheap and creative method to use headline ads actually to get more sales. We're going to show you how to dominate your competition by using their Amazon data against them. We're going to show you how to rank for the best keywords as you need them. And then we're going to tell you about our secret weapon, your secret weapon to massive profits in your product business. And there's going to be more as we go through. I hope you find this enjoyable for you. Make sure you guys are taking the time to turn off all this information, and turn off your Facebook, anything that's going to confuse, that's going to interrupt you because and Norm and I are both going to go through things very fast here. And when we do, you're going to get the recording. Hopefully this time we'll have a recording. But you're going to be able to have to go through. You're going to have the slides, and you'll have the SOPs. So I just want you to understand the whole strategy itself, and then just so you can implement it later. And yes, so yeah, I see Victoria was already asking about the slides. You will have the recording and the slides for this, along with the SOPs and a few other things that we're going to give you as well. So we will go through all these strategies, and at the very end, after we go through, tell you all about AMZ and beyond, we will hit the questions at the end. What I ask of you guys to do is just put in whatever question you have. Just say, strategy 1, strategy 2, and then your question. So then when we're at the very end, we can go through, we know which question it was about. If it's a general question, then you might just put general. But just tell us which one it is, and it'll help us identify and go back to your questions at the end. So we want to take this over the top. So in addition to all this free training, and now we don't have prizes to give away today, unfortunately, but we decided we want to give you even more. The guys at Managed by Stats are good friends with ours, and so we want to give you those SOPs that we talked about, which are going to show you how to directly implement these strategies that we're going to be talking about. We're going to give you a link that's a 20% off link to a special tool that works with one of these strategies that we've never shared publicly with before. We just share with our members. We're going to give you that very limited opportunity to work with us, and you're also going to have bonuses that are from this live webinar that you're going to be able to take advantage of. Double discounts are not available anymore. I should have taken that out, but there are going to be specific discounts that are going to be live until the end of Friday. We'll tell you about later, but we want to actually over-deliver for you, and hopefully you're going to get that. So the first thing we're going to talk about is strategy number 1, which is a catch-all campaign for lost sales. We're going to call it the Amazon Sponsored Ads Trick. And basically, I'm just going to describe what it is, show you what it is, and then give you the process for that. And we're going to do that for every single strategy we're going to teach you guys today. So the very first one is that it's going to be a step-by-step strategy that you are going to just go boom, 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 and you're going to be able to implement it into your Amazon business inside of Amazon to get sales at a super low ACoS. For those of you guys that don't know what ACoS is, it's average cost of sales. The lower, the better. It just means the less you're spending to make sales. And this is an opportunity to do that, to catch sales in addition to any other sponsored ads that you're running. So it doesn't matter if you're already running manual campaigns, automatic campaigns. It doesn't matter what you're paying for those things. This is over and beyond that, totally separate as a catch-all campaign that will run with your other campaigns. So let me show you what that's going to look like. It's going to be, you're going to call it something. In this case, you see I call it a catch-all, SP. It's just something that tells me what it is, sponsored ads catch-all campaign. You see I took a screenshot actually last summer, and it just shows that I spent about $54 and it returns over $700 in sales. It's just over and beyond everything else that we do PPC. The ACoS on that was 7.5%, which anything under 10% is amazing. Nowadays, we're getting things that are under 5%. And what that's going to look like inside that catch-all campaign, now I did block out a bunch of those names because the names of each of my ad groups are actual products, and so I don't usually share on a public call what those products are. We do inside our group, but not on public calls. And you'll see the default bids over there are 5 cents, anywhere from 5 cents to 10 cents. And you can see that some of those are actually, at 3.7% ACoS, and those are bringing in some just extra sales. So it's extra sales you can make that would be falling through buckets that you not normally would catch, that you wouldn't normally catch. So what's the steps? Again, I'm going to go through this really fast. You're going to have the SOP. You're going to have the slides, so you can actually implement this later. It'll take 5 minutes to put your first catch-all campaign in place per product. So let me go ahead and show you. So you go into your seller's account. You're going to go under, you're going to create a new campaign, and you want to call it something like catch-all, similar, whatever it works best for you, however way you name things. And then you want to set a small daily budget. For this case, I put $100. And then you want to do it as an automatic targeting campaign. That's key. We're not doing manual here. Automatic campaign. Click continue, go to the next step. So what does that look like? Here I call it catch-all. I had the budget of $100. And see, I started this one. I was doing this for a September presentation. You started on whatever date it is today. No end date. Do automatic campaign, and then continue on the next step. So the next few steps here, you're going to choose the ad group. You choose, like I said, I call it whatever the product is. You only have to do it for one parent. So if you have a parent listing that has a whole bunch of variations, that could be just one ad group, and then add all the different variations for that product, so it targets every single one of them. And the way you do that, you search for the products, and then you add them to say you do with any kind of PPC campaign, and you do a very low default bid. In this case, we're going to start out with 5 cents. Click Save and Finish, and that's it. So this is what it looks like. In this case, I call this one Android charging cables. and then I would search for those products. I'd find those products, and by selecting here, by hitting the add button, it would then add it to this campaign, to this ad group, and you see that's showing those 3 products there above. The default bid, 5 cents, save and finish. That's it, done. It might not even take you 5 minutes to do that. That's just one product. Now, I know last time we had a call, we had a lot of people say, hey, I have hundreds of products. What should I do? You set them up separately for every single one. Where do you start if you have so many? Start with your best ones. If you have an 8, you want to do the 80-20 rule. Whatever one's your best products, start with those first and then add in the other ones later. So the catch-all campaign monitoring, basically monitor, update, and update as needed. So we're going to watch daily this campaign and see how each one is performing. After about a week, you may want to try to, if you're having some good results, or maybe if you're not getting anything, you might want to try bidding up your minimum bid there little by little. Usually we do 1 cent at a time to scale it, but do it till you start getting some traction. If you start going above a certain amount, you're going to get diminishing returns. Then just back off to where you had those good returns. And that's it. That's the whole catch-all campaign. That's strategy 1. So again, these are going to be coming at you fast. You're going to be able to get all these things in the SOP and in the slides. But that is our first one. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We're going to move over to strategy 2. And Norm, I saw you sent me some stuff. So while you're talking, I'm going to see if I can fix the issue that you have.
All right, very good. So the next one's a pretty cool little tactic. It's for getting really inexpensive headline ads. And this was a complete fluke. I was just working away one night, and I found out I was on Helium-10, and I was just checking out a few things, and all of a sudden, boom, it just kind of hit me. So if you haven't heard this, I don't think many people have heard of this one. It's kind of cool. So what you're doing is you're taking uncompetitive headlines that don't show anywhere and just putting up really low bids. It's kind of like what Dave was doing with the catch-all. I like riding on Dave's coattails, so I'll just show you how this is, but it's very similar. So anyways, the other thing what I like about this this little trick is that it's customized in the way it looks. It's at the top of your Amazon listing or your Amazon product search page. So you show up first above your competitors, and I'll show you exactly about how you'll see it. I've got some examples in here. So Dave, can you switch over to the next slide? So here's what it looks like. This is your headline search terms or search ad. And what you can see, here's the difference between the sponsored ads, the right side display ad, is you have 3 products up there. So what you can do is you can have, it could be a variation, so 1-pack, 3-pack, 5-pack. It could be cross-promoting one of your products or all 3 of your products. But what I like is the title. So you can change this title. It doesn't have to be Amazon specific, so it's not a bland, boring title stuffed with keywords. This is actually that, oh, here we go. It looks like I got video. Yeah, thank you, Dave. So it doesn't have to be the typical Amazon title. You can actually make it engaging. And you'll find out that you can split test this, and I'm going to go through this in a second, and you can find out that you could end up 10, 15, 20, 30% difference just in the titles that you use. But the part that I love the best is the actual photograph. The far left, you can change that to be almost anything. It does not have to be on a white background. You can get somebody to create it, maybe a graphic artist, or if you want to go into Canva and do it yourself. But it can be the product. It could have a completely colored background. It could even have text in the background. And it draws your attention. It's something completely different because the only thing you see up there, in this example, it's all white. But in most examples, that most people, I should say, are using this white background because they don't realize they can use all these really cool backgrounds, or they post their logo up there. So Dave, can you go to the next slide? So how do we set this up? And the procedure is really simple. So you do, for me anyways, I go to Helium-10, and we do have a code down there. If you want to use it, you can get Helium-10 at the best discount that they're offering right now. We're not making anything off of it, but if you want to use, if you're not using them and you like this tactic, then go ahead and log in. So you have to go into Helium-10, and you go to their SEBRO tool. it's at this right now, it's their fourth one down, but they're always coming out with new tools. So go into Cebro. And now what you want to do is go and find your competitors. So in the SOP, it says 1, but typically I like to do 3 to 5. And that way I get just a more comprehensive list. So just jot them down, and then you can run the reports. And once you get the reports, you can combine them and download them in an Excel file. So we'll show you on the next slide. So you can do it one ASIN at a time that I know of. They're always changing it. So, but you just type in your ASIN, you run the report, the reverse search. It's going to come up with tons of keywords. And then you run your next ASIN, and then your next, and then your next. Now, if you're only running one ASIN, you can go to Export and go to Excel or CSV, and it'll download. If you're running multiple ASINs, can you go back, Dave? You can go to History. There's a checkbox. In the history, you can type in, let's say you're doing garden shears. So type in garden shears, and you can see the 4 different ASINs that you were running. And then you can just click the checkbox beside it, and it'll combine it all into one file for you. Okay, so when you get over to when you get your your Google Excel. When you get your Excel file, you want to do 2 things. You open it up, you select everything, and then you want to hit the data button. So this is going to allow you to sort things, or you can hit the sort button. And so I use a Mac. So for me, I go to data and then sort. It's on a toolbar. You can just hit sort. It has an A and a Z beside it. Pretty easy to find. You want to sort the headline ASINs column, and you want to do that by low to high. And then you want to click an additional row. Okay, so just click the plus sign, and then you're going to add exact phrase, high to low. And these are 2 separate things. So because the column names are headline ASIN and there's an exact phrase column, you're going to have it in the drop down. So it's just a no-brainer. And then it's high to low. So what this is doing, it's sorting your list of how many keywords. It's 1,000 different keywords. And what it's going to do is sort it by 0 all the way down to as many competitors as there is in this market, in this niche. So from there, what you can do is you can sort the list. The list, what you don't even want to bother with are the competitors, like really competitive ones. Anything that's 5, 6, or down, and go through and get rid of unrelated keywords, like keywords that are not related to your product. Next one, Dave. So here's the list. This is exactly what it's going to look like. If you look at the top, it'll download. You'll see the phrase, the Cebro, IQ, exact phrase, and headlines. So that's what I'm talking about when you hit that data button. And now what you're going to be going through, and you're just going to remove all the non-related keywords. And you're going to be left with a list that looks something like this. Now, if you look on the far right, you'll see 0. That means 0 competition. Nobody is going after, and now you got like the 64 exact match. Yeah, it's not tons of volume, but these have 0 competition. You put out a bid, and you're going to be seen. So lawn garden sprayer. I've seen hundreds of 0s. When we were doing this one, I was surprised that we only saw 7 or 8. But I did garden shears, and I've done a few others, and I saw just a ton that had 0 or 1 or 2. I mean, this is easy pickings. So what I'm doing is take a look at the 0 column, then take a look at the exact match column. Then go over to where it goes number 2, which is line number 9. And you'll see there's 267 exact match and all the way down. You pick up about 1,000 exact match phrases, very little competition. You might have to bid a little bit more. Can you go to the next slide? Now here's what you do with that information. Log into Seller Central, go to edit, get into advertising, go to your campaigns. And then you're going to look for headline search ads and create a campaign. Once you add your ASINs, so the 3 ASINs that you want, you'll be prompted to put them over to the other column. Like I said, parent child, or in this case, what we did is we cross promoted. Now this is where you can be creative. You can come up with some really engaging, creative titles. Don't think of it as just doing one campaign. I like to split test it. So I might make 2 or 3 campaigns, but just come up with different titles and see which one's more engaging. And you can add them right to this ad set. So then you move down, after you've given the advertising headline a little bit of thought, you move down to your brand logo. Don't put your brand logo there. I mean, you can, but I think it'll be a waste. Use it to upload a really cool graphic. Get a graphic designer to do it. You know, a lot of people can just go on and do it themselves, but for this, you could take something from your product, either your enhanced listing, brand listing, or you can take it from your ad set, or not your ad set, your slide deck from your product listing, add it there, or you can have a brand new, really cool image that uploads. And then it says add products. This allows you to reorganize whatever you want, like the 1-pack, 3-pack, and 5-pack. If they're out of order, you can order it, you can rearrange the order and then hit continue. And this is what it looks like. So, I mean, this wasn't, we put this together, but natural hair solutions for the natural you. Okay, it's something a little bit different than, you know, whatever the brand name is and, you know, the keywords. The image, the way it was rearranged. Now, one thing that we have here, at the bottom, it says add preview. You get to see 3 different ways, like the ad placements and how they look. So it also allows you to see, you know, just see exactly the way it's represented. Next. Then you're going to be brought over to the default bid. 37 cents is high. I put that in there. Again, if you've got a lot of zeros and nobody's bidding on it, you could bring it to 27 cents. You can, whatever you like, but that's a starting point. I shut off automated bidding. And I take that list that I want and I enter it into the keyword list. You can set it as broad match. I like running broad match and phrase match, especially for this. Usually what I would do is if I'm doing a regular campaign, PPC campaign, I'm probably targeting the phrase match only and then getting that and then spreading it out. But in this case, you can do broad match, you can do broad match and phrase match, whatever you like. And then you click add these keywords. So that's what it looks like. And then you can scroll down and just make sure that you add the proper budget. You don't have to add, this is not a huge budget. You can throw, you know, $15 in there. And I doubt right off the bat if you're going to get it. You probably have to do a lot of adjusting. But, you know, just throw $15 in there and see what happens. So you're going to be able to see your preview. And then you're going to click finish. What will end up happening is once you do this, and this is how it'll look. And at the bottom there, you'll see how the ad will look. And then once you click finish, Amazon's going to take 24 to 72 hours to approve it. If there's any issues with it, they'll just send it back, and you just make the adjustments. They're pretty clear on what you can do and what you can't do when they send you that information back. So there's all sorts of things that you can be doing with these keywords. First of all, these keywords, you're spending nothing and you're gaining a couple of sales here and there. And I'll tell you, we just went on, I just showed on our last call, just a small campaign that we put together. Didn't make a lot of sales. It was 77 bucks, big whoop. So you go out and you have dinner. But some people have got between $1,000 and $2,000 in sales just because they ran this. Now, it really depends on how many terms there are. I have seen hundreds, maybe even thousands of terms that were slim pickings, just 0, 1, 2, 3, and it was so easy to get sales. So that pretty much wraps it up. You can use these this campaign to drive traffic, or sorry, you can use this campaign just to get those really low-hanging fruit and make a little bit of extra money. And you can always adjust it if it's not performing, or if you want it to perform a bit more. Throw it up a nickel, throw it up a dime, and see what happens.
All right, great. That's strategy number 2. Again, if you guys have questions as we go through these, just we'll get the questions at the very end. Just put the strategy, what number it is, and then we'll hit the questions at the very end. So the next strategy is using competitor data for profits, and this is used to dominate your competition using their Amazon data. So this is pretty cool. It's using the software that I'm going to share with you what it is in a minute. And actually, we have, like I said, there's a 14-day trial that you can play around with it, and if you want to buy it, this is the one we're actually giving a 20% off discount link that we only give our members. But you're going to discover how to use this software and get competitive keywords. Then we're first going to teach the software how to, which keywords are actually relevant to our product, which then we'll continue to learn. The software learns and brings more in as we need it, and then it will find the best keywords and then bring more in. And you continue then to find the better ones, and it just is amazing how it starts working. It will put importance on keywords it has a TSI rating, which is factored in on traffic. It factors in on competition and relevancy, and it basically tells you based on those factors which is the best ones to put in your title, which is your best ones to put in your listings in different places and whatnot. So that's what we do then when we put them to optimize our listing. Then we get index for them, and then we even we can use these for paid traffic as well. So what this looks like, this is the software inside the software here. We're going to do an example for this genuine leather wallet, and you'll see how it just brings in all this information. Those are keywords it has that are actually now targeted towards this product, and we're going to show you how how we go through this process to get those keywords and get this information, and then what we do with that information. So the setup steps, first thing we want to do is we want to get this software. So the software is seller.tools, and that is the actually direct URL. You'll see in a minute here that there's actually a 14-day trial that you can sign up for, and I'll show you how to connect it to your account. When you're ready to purchase it, if you want to purchase it, you can use our discount code, which gets you 20% off. Again, it's just some of the value we usually give our members, but because you guys are good friends with people who are good friends with us, we actually giving this to you guys. Hawaii all caps, make sure it's all caps 20. We'll give you that 20% off. It's going to look like this. You go to seller.tools, just click on pricing, and you'll see there it says select trial. You don't have to worry about paying $97 a month. It gives you a 14-day trial before that. Then you can use that coupon that will give you 20% off that starter plan. If you want to do a higher package, you can always upgrade to it later. I would always say start with a starter package. What's going to happen is you're going to start getting limited on keywords. But again, we work with our members to show them ways that we can get around that as well, so we don't have to pay the higher prices. Next thing you need to do is you need to connect your seller's account. So it's going to ask you to verify your email address, and then once you do that, you're going to connect your seller's account by where it says no credentials yet on the top right. You're going to click on the click to add. And then after that, it's going to start syncing your products. Now, it might take 20, 30 minutes, sometimes an hour to sync your products, but once it does, then you're going to be able to go to this area here to click on add new keywords. So you actually go into the product. So for this one, you see I have the leather wallet right there, and I click on add keywords. And then we have to find competitors. So we go to Amazon, and we actually find the ASINs, which is the unique identifier for each product. You get the ASIN, and you plug it in here where it says enter 3 ASIN numbers. You can only enter 1. You get up to 3, but I always try to put the most in there because then you're going to get a better idea of what the competitors are, what keywords they're trying to rank for. Now, if you've been doing a product for a while and you already know what your main seed or master keyword is, you can go ahead and put in the keyword manually there. And then once you do that, either with ASINs, competitors, or manually, you hit next. And then we try to determine, okay, which one is the best one. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a seed or master keyword. All right. So in this case, it was pulling from the competitor seed. It has the different ones in there, and you can pick whichever one you want. Any of those would work really well, except for men. Men is a little too general, right? So if you can be descriptive, maybe you can do men wallet, leather wallet, whatever. Not men, not wallet, but the combination works really good. Or again, you can then check that box and specify your own if you don't like these ones. Click Add Master Keyword, and then it adds the master keyword. So the next step is where the hard work comes in. We're going to actually manually go through each keyword suggestion that the seller tool starts bringing in, and we have to determine whether those keywords it brings in are relevant to our product or not relevant to our product. It's going to show us it's going to show us keyword phrases in blue. The blue just means that we are indexed for that product. It's going to show us keywords that are in red or kind of like an orange. Those are going to be ones that we are not indexed for. And then so I'm going to show you here in a second what it looks like. When we hover over each of these phrases, it's going to bring up a box of what each keyword phrase, each word brings up other keywords and what those phrases represent for each keyword. And you got to determine, is it relevant? You click to the left if it is. If it isn't, you click to the right, and you'll see that here in a second. You want to make sure you go through the whole thing before you hit finish. You also want to make sure, too, if you have, sometimes it'll bring hundreds or even I've seen 1,000 sometimes. You want to make sure you go through the whole list before closing it out, because if you stop in the middle and you close it out, it's not going to save, and you're going to have to go back and do your work again. So this is what I'm talking about. This is what it looks like here. You see at the very top, it says undecided. So there's still 23 decisions that we have to make for this one. It brings in very few to start, but as the software learns, it gets better and better to find products that are relevant, so you can actually make a decision if it's relevant or not. So in this case, you'll see in the middle there, the RFID. If I hover, that little hand is over to the left. It brings up that one keyword, that one word, brings up those phrases that one word is relevant, that it is actually bringing up. That's saying, hey, are you relevant for these things? And for the most part, with the exception of that first one, I think that Jim Taxon is probably a brand, but all the other ones are relevant. So I would click to the left, and it would show up in the relevant side. And you see right now I have 4 that I already did. If it is irrelevant, then I would click on the right arrow. And you see the ones that are in the irrelevant column, and I already changed over to that. To Carteria, Ombre, there's different things like that. Gray, we don't have a gray one. We have a black and a brown. So I move those over to irrelevant. We go ahead, make all those 23 decisions, and then click finish when we're done. If by chance you can't finish all these in time, make sure you hit the save as draft. You can always come back to it. But like I said, if you leave this, it won't be saved. So save as draft or finish when you're done. So next, Seller Tools is going to go out there and find more competitor data, more relevant keywords, or more keywords it thinks you're relevant for, and then you have to then do the manual work again and choose, are these competitor keywords relevant for your listing or not? So we're actually going to go back to step 6 when that happens, and we start repeating these steps. Now do realize that the more manual work you put into this, the more keywords that you're going to have from your competitors to put into your listing, the more that you're going to start ranking for these things, the more you can use to your advantage, right? So the more work you put, the better it's going to be for you. Now, in this case, I didn't put much work into this. This isn't a product that we're actually selling, but I just wanted to do it to give you guys the steps of how to put this in place. You'll see there at the top right, it gives you this little bell, and it actually shakes. It doesn't ring, but visually shakes, and it tells you that there's some notifications. So in this case, I clicked on the bell, and you see it in a little drop-down box, and it tells you if it's indexed, and it checks what you're relevant for and all that good stuff often. In this case, it was a different product. You'll see I kind of blurred it out a little bit there, but it tells me there's new keyword suggestions for this product. So I would actually click on that, and then I would go through those undecided keywords to determine if they're relevant or irrelevant. And that's, again, the hard part of this work. And it depends. Like this wallet, if I really put time into it, I would have to go probably like an hour or 2 of these kind of decisions as Seller Tools is going through and finding this information. But like I said before, it's highly worth it. And then you see there in the middle, it shows the relevant data that it brings in. Now, there's only like 3 tools that I would recommend that shows relevant data. Now this is the second time we're talking about another tool. The first one we talked about was Helium 10, Seller Tools, and then Viral Launch Keywords. All those 3 tools are getting the data from where you want to get a data from. If you guys are using, say something like Merchant Words, not good data. They're guessing based on a BSR score where this software and the other 2 I mentioned are pulling in the real data. Don't ask me how it works. Just know that it works, and this is where we get our data. This is where we use our stuff. So the next thing we want to do once we do all that is we want to then create, if you're making your listing for the first time, or revise your listing as it goes through and finds these keywords. And then you want to start working in the most important keywords into your title. Then you put the rest of them into the other parts of your listing, the description, the bullet points, search terms, and subject matter. Once you're totally done doing all that, you're going to copy. Unfortunately, it doesn't manually connect to your seller. I mean, it brings the information in, but it can't copy it back out. So you manually have to copy now your new title, put it into your Seller Central, copy your new description, put it in your Seller Central. That's the way to do it. Totally worth it, though, because we have had tremendous results with this. I'll tell you more about that in the end. But this is a little example of what that looks like. You see so far in this very limited keywords I brought in for this example, you'll see it tells me based on the 10 being the highest down to the 0. So based on color, that men, wallet, leather, bifold, RFID, and wallets, the plural of that, are the most important keywords to work into my listing. Do know that, yes, plural is going to be different than singular. Amazon does rank differently for that. So you want to try to, in this case, I want to try to find a way to work wallet and wallets into my title, and I would do that. I'll try to work it in. Of course, I don't want to keyword stuff it, but I want to try to make sales copy in there to help sell, because you got to realize that people are coming to this listing, and it doesn't matter if they're getting there. They have to be sold too. So there need to be copy, and don't always keyword stuff it. You can work the other keywords in the other parts of your listing. When you do that, your product is now going to index, and you only have to, just so you know too, this is something that comes up often. You only need to put the keywords in there one time. One time will get you indexed, and that will get you to start having this method work for you. So ideas for best utilizing this. These are just a few ways. I'm sure there's tons of them that you can come up with, but this will continually find you new competitors, and on autopilot, more relevant keywords that you are not using, and then use the software to find it, make the decisions, bring them into your listing. Take the time to determine if it's relevant or not relevant. Revise your listings and take it and put it in, because you're going to be indexed for more keywords. You're going to start getting more traffic and sales coming in from that, and you can focus on paid traffic. If they're in the competitor listings, usually there's a reason why there is. Don't get me wrong, there's sellers out there that have no idea what they're doing, and that's the stuff where it's irrelevant. You want to put misspellings and competitor brand names. Now, this is a little bit of a shady topic when we talk about brand names, but you put them in the back-end keyword section. So in the search terms on your back-end inside your listing where you can't see it on your listing, that's where you can put this. They're not visible, but Amazon recognize it. Now, your brand names, I usually put on, you have 5 different levels or 5 different sections that you can put the search terms. I always use the last one, the 5th one, because that's where I put those brands, and you don't ever want to put them all in the same line, because if you ever have a word or a phrase that stops, like Amazon says, okay, this is not allowed. We're not going to allow that brand in there. Whenever they have a word that stops their process of indexing, then everything after that word in that line in the back end is going to be irrelevant as well. It's not going to index. So I always put the brand names by themselves. If Amazon ever says to you, hey, why do you have these brand names in your listing and you take them out, then you take them out. Not a big deal. We've been running them since I've been doing Amazon. I've been doing Amazon now with the private label for 4.5 years, and we have great success with that. So use it at your own discrepancy, but the misspellings, put on your back end, because you don't want people thinking that, well, you have no idea how to spell these keywords. I'm not buying from these guys. They can't spell. And then you can use the keywords in your Amazon sponsored ads, right? And we take our best ones then after they run for a while. We find the ones that are converting best. We move them over to the headline ads. Now, not the strategy that Norman talked about there a minute ago in strategy 2, but we actually put them in headline ads where we're actually paying good prices to make them perform. And just so you guys know that our best performing paid ads on Amazon are headline ads. And everybody, this came up a question yesterday, everybody has access to headline ads. You don't have to be a brand owner. You don't have to have brand registry. You have access to it. And for some reason it's not in your account, then we would work with you to contact seller support. Talk to someone that's not a first level support, but you want to work your way into an advertising specialist, and they'll be able to get you in there, because headline ads became available to every seller, everyone that has a professional account. That happened last fall. So use that to your advantage. So let's move on, Norman, to strategy number 4.
All right. So you're going to get the slides. If you weren't going to get the slides, I'd have you write this one down, because what this little hidden tactic is you're going to eliminate all the competitors. So think about it. You'll be able to drive traffic over to a product page, and there's no competition. So check this out. It's a hidden keyword landing page. Let's call it that. And what we're doing is, just by putting a little snippet of code onto the URL, we're going to be able to just eliminate everything except for your product. Okay, so this is how the product page is set up. And as you can see, the keyword is in the genuine leather wallet. And by manipulating the URL, we're going to be able to have no competition. People are going to be able to land here on your page, and it's that simple. So this is not going to take a long time. I'm just going to show you very quickly how to do it. Dave, next. All right, so the first thing that we want to do, and this is the key, this is the only thing you got to do. we have to make it unique. So go into your keywords. So go into Seller Central, edit keywords, and go to your search terms, and put a unique search term in there. So put a unique search term in there. It could be this 5-letter keyword, Z, or I'm Canadian, ZXCVB, or it could be anything, but it has to be unique. Once you do that, just click Save. It's done. So now the next step is that you want to search that search term. So you have to figure out, okay, what search term do you want? Genuine leather wallet. You'll see a URL that comes up. And then when you go to the URL, you're going to see something that says keywords equal genuine plus leather plus wallet. There's a little piece that you have to delete, and we're going to get to that in the next, right here. So right after keywords equals genuine plus leather plus wallet, delete that. And your URL will look something like this. So whatever keyword it is, you'll see it with the plus sign in between the keywords. So here it is. This is it. All you need to do is add the ampersand, hidden, the hyphen, keywords equals, and then whatever that keyword is. If you take a look at the URL below, you'll see exactly how it looks. And that's ZXCVB at the end. And that's the trick. If you do that, now you've got a hidden keyword. So this is how it looks. And what we can do now, this is how important this is. You can drive traffic. Can you imagine this? Driving your Facebook, let's say you have a really crazy email campaign that if you would have driven the traffic over to your listing, it would have killed your conversion. It was just a lot of traffic. You wanted eyes on. Well, now you can drive traffic over here. And if they do want to buy, they just have to click on it. There's no competition. These genuine RFID wallets, it's all yours. So you can use it in a post. You can use it all different ways. The main thing is this is your listing. And now the people that are clicking on and going to your product page, they're a motivated buyer. They're going they're not kicking the tires. They're probably there to buy. I just kind of ran through it, but there's so many different ways that you could work with this. Content is everything. So you can put this in your post. I use a lot of press releases. So I put this into my press releases, drive traffic over there that way. You can put it into a targeted Facebook group. You could use it on Pinterest or Instagram. But one of the really key, this is kind of cool. So what we do as well is we create these, with paid traffic, we create these content-rich product review pages. What I mean by that is we take our product, and we might have 4 other competitors' product. Our product, of course, is always the best. And then, we have a fair ranking for everybody else. But I'll slip that in there, add the URL, and it'll drive it over to our page with that 5-star rating, and everybody wants to click on it because we're would be the best. And then the advanced tactic is slip a keyword rotator in. We're not going to get into keyword rotators, but for the people that know about keyword rotators, use multiple keywords. So go through, let them rotate 3, 4, 5 times, and all you have to do is just, it's the same thing. All you have to do is just add that little string at the end. And one thing I should mention about the keyword rotator, let's say that you have a keyword that is really popular and it needs more oomph. So you want to drive more traffic over to your product listing. What you can do, most keyword rotators have what's called, a weighted system, a percentage. So 50% of your traffic could go over to one keyword, 25 to another, and then 25 to another. And you could do that, 5 times, 10 times, depends on the keyword rotator. So now, wherever you want to drive that traffic over to that listing, you can drive the most popular keyword over there. So how's that? I thought it was pretty cool.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So that was strategy number 4. So those of you guys that have questions on that, put strategy number 4, and we'll get to that at the very end. So thanks, Norman. Good things. That's a very powerful strategy, guys. So last one, strategy number 5, is your secret weapon to massive profits. This is something that is so underutilized, and why Norman and I actually do what we do. It's having a strong mentor and success group. So this is a way that you can achieve an unfair advantage over other sellers that are out there, because you need to surround yourself with other successful entrepreneurs that are also having success. Most people don't do this, or they think they're doing it by going to a few networking events or a few different things once a year, maybe go to an ASM event or something like that. But you need to be doing this all the time, because there's things that we're doing with our group that they change week to week. Well, there was one time Norman and I was teaching a topic a couple weeks ago, and we had to come on the very next week and say, I'm sorry, what we talked to you about last week has already changed. We need to have a new topic, and we had to tell them right away what it was. If you didn't know that, you wouldn't be in the know for the longest time. Having a strong mentor coach will help you achieve results so much faster, and they can be your guiding light to achieving your own success. And I always say this, success leaves clues. So what better way to gain the confidence from other people's success than to implement into your own business? So we want to look at what other successful entrepreneurs do. And since success leaves clues, let's examine what they do. What do successful business entrepreneurs have in common? Well, we notice this a lot. They're full of drive and determination. They're out there making things happen. Those of you guys that are on this call, you're action takers. You're here to learn this content. You're here to get information. You're following the steps of what successful entrepreneurs do. You got to be willing to take risks. This is something that's so common. Look at some of those billionaires that are out there. Donald Trump. It's tons of risks, right? Look at some of the investors out there. Warren Buffett. Some of the people like Branson. That he takes huge risks, but for every failure, he'll have such a big success that's it's so worth it for him to take risks. They have a high level of confidence, right? They just know how do they get that? Well, it's the last point here. They also have a strong desire to learn and invest in themselves. Too many times I was talking to someone yesterday. They're like, oh, you know what? I would love to be part of your program, but I have to invest in my inventory. Well, maybe you should invest in yourself first, because if you're not investing in yourself first, you might not be making the right decisions with your inventory. So that's important. And then this is a very common thing with successful business entrepreneurs is they have a strong mentor and or a success group to follow. So important. It's a big part of my success. Norm, is there anything you want to add to that? Because I know this is so important, this topic.
Not only do you, with a mentor or a group, you get to network with everybody. So, and this doesn't go for just our group. Like, there's so many really good groups out there as well. I mean, if this is a flavor, like, we don't want somebody to come into this group and feel that they have to belong to 10 other groups. I mean, I can think of 3 or 4 incredibly great groups out there too, but we're not the same as what these other groups provide. And if we're talking, about certain things, like this group is a mentoring group. This group is not really a tactics group. We show tactics, but we'll go through the latest launch process. We'll go through the latest e-com or an Amazon, any issues that come up, any updates that come up. And the other thing that by having the group and having a mentor, everybody that's involved with a group like this, you start to network with, and you start to, like us, we're learning every day. Today we learned, a bunch of things on our last call. So it is so strong. Like if Dave and I would never have met if we weren't out, going out and trying to learn and grow. And, what we find is all these positive people are always kind of growing together, and it just becomes part of our network. It's pretty cool.
Very much so. And I was telling it on our call today too. We're out there, coaching and mentoring, but we learn so much too just from our people interacting as well. You want it one way or another. I can't stress that more, whether it's something that you want to do with us or do it with somebody. You want to be part of some kind of, you want to have a mentor, you want to have some kind of success mastermind group. It's so important in this business. So the power of having a mentor mastermind. So what can a strong mentor do for you? The first thing you can do is increase your working performance. It sharpens your focus by making sure you're doing the right growth activities while you're clarifying your own priorities in a way that maybe you cannot do on your own. So someone else can look at you and see something that you're missing. So think of it like a husband-wife team. There's so many times where my wife says to me something, I'm like, wow, I never even thought about that. That makes total sense. Thank you. Someone like that can look at something first and say, is this going to work for you? Like I said with that the person about buying the inventory, that could be something to say, hey, what do you guys think of this? Is this something that I should invest $15,000 in, or should I do something smaller level? What's your thoughts? Let's look at some data. You want to be, a mentor can also help you stay continually updated. We talked about that. What is working now and what's not working now, and how to implement it's how to effectively implement that into your business. Be right alongside you, coaching you along the way. And this is huge. I talk about this all the time, and it's preventing lost opportunity costs. That's a wasted time and wasted money. Okay, you could do that by learning from the success of others and the failures of others too. Because if you're going ahead, if you're not taking if you're wasting time, that's money you could be making if you were following a mentor, right? If you are wasting money, well, that's money you could have been spending on a mentor, making more money. So it's lost opportunity cost. It's an economic principle. It's so important. Opportunity cost equals opportunity lost. It's a huge thing. Norman, you want to share anything about that?
Yeah, I came up through the Amazing Selling Machine ASM model, and I remember when I first went, they were pitching a retreat where it would be 5 people or 6 people, and it was worth $30,000. They were offering $20,000. I looked at my buddy, and I went, "That's nuts! You know, that's crazy." And about a year later, and I'm pretty experienced with e-com. About a year later, I said, all the mistakes I made on Amazon, I should have gone to the retreat. And it was so true. I would have, if I could have backed up and given them $20,000, I would have done it, because I wouldn't have made near the mistakes that cost me way more than that.
Opportunity cost. And if you wish
you
could get back now, would you?
Sometimes we don't know until we don't know. Like, you know, it's called tax. You know, I had to pay the tax to get into the game. And now, you know, you're still paying tax because you're still learning, but yeah, with all the network and the people that, you know, we've been able to network with, I mean, they help minimize that.
Definitely.
Yes, I would definitely have paid that in a second.
Right. There's always going to be mistakes, but when you have a group that you're working with, a mentor, it cuts down on those mistakes. So why are so many people struggling? You know, it's ridiculous. I mean, I can't believe I talked to so many different sellers in this business that, you know, they have, maybe they're an ASM member. You think, well, wait, they have this amazing course that they paid, you know, $3,500, $4,000, sometimes $5,000 for, and they have the mentors in that group. Why are they struggling? You know, or, you know, maybe they don't know what the right things to do, but there's so many people that just get stuck, right? Whether they can't get off the ground running. There's some people on this call that are brand new beginners and they just can't figure out where to go. There's other people that hit a plateau that they know there's a lot of other people making a lot more money. Norman and I, you know, we know, you know, in some of our businesses, we know people that are making $1 million a month in this business, right? So it's working. How do I get to that point, right? Most people are trying to figure out how to run their ever-changing businesses by themselves, but they have no one to bounce off those ideas from. Okay, it's so important. That's why so many people are struggling. Most people recognize that there's a need, but they can't find the solutions from the courses and mentors to learn from. Like I said before, there's people out there teaching the wrong things. You're going out there trying to get those shiny objects. You don't have a direction to follow. That's one of the reasons why people are struggling. But, you know, oops, sorry about that. We actually have a solution, which is why Norman and I started this and why we wanted to pay it forward, helping so many people. We've created that solution, and that solution is we wanted to create, first of all, a safe place where we could do that, where we can mentor and coach people online product sellers, and help them overcome their struggles and achieve success by modeling what is working for us. We are both very successful in what we do, and we are doing it. We're in the trenches every single day. Norman and I, this is not what we do for a living. We don't coach and mentor for a living. We run our Amazon product businesses for a living, on Amazon, off Amazon. We're very successful at what we do. This is just a side thing that we like helping other people, but we can model exactly what it is that we do and show you how to get to that point. We don't have the time to invest in individual mentoring. Some people have asked us already, like, hey, Dave, Norman, can I hire you on? I need you personally to work my business. Sorry, we don't have time for that. So we created this learning platform where we can do that together in a group setting that is safe. Like I said before, we have everyone that signs NDAs, so we don't worry about competition and people stealing their product. We don't worry about that at all. On our members' calls, Norman and I share our products, exactly what we're doing in our business. We show you everything we're doing. There's nothing to hide, and everyone else shares what they're doing too. And it's where we can all learn from one another in a group setting. And then by doing it that way, we can do it as affordable as possible, so you're not having to pay those high private consulting fees. So if you have someone that's working one-on-one, if I charge people, I'd probably charge $4,000 or $5,000 a month for maybe 2 or 3 hours of my time. It would be highly worth it to them, but like I said, then I have a job. I don't want to do that. Norman and I came together. We created this. We actually use the Zoom platform. Now, I know sometimes we have issues with the Zoom, but we have issues on this webinar side. We don't have issues on the meeting side. The meeting side, like today, we had our last call for the month of May. We actually, all our members, and we have a very small, intimate group, We have our members that are on live. We can all, I call it the Brady Bunch. Remember the Brady Bunch where here's a story, lovely family. They have all the different people that are in the Brady Bunch, right? The 8 and then Alice in the middle. It's crazy. I remember all that. But you could see everybody, and just like you could on the beginning of that sitcom, they can talk. You can look and see everybody. You talk to each other. You can screen share. You ask questions. It's an amazing platform that we've created. We all learn from each other, and that's just the call side. We have other things that we offer, too, inside of our membership. So what is all included? So what does this consist of? Now, I'm not going to read through every single one of these things. I'm going to hit on some of the key points. You guys will get the slides, but I want to give you an overall idea of what this looks like. So we do have live coaching mentoring calls that we just talked about. We have 3 of them a month. 2 of them are actually coaching mentoring calls where we actually have our people submit the questions and topics, and also if they want a hot seat, so maybe you have something that like a PPC issue or a listing issue, maybe something with your sponsored ads account, maybe your Facebook ads account, maybe a Shopify store, whatever it may be, submitted. We go over it on those 2 live calls. Then we have new content that Norm and I actually provide each month that's working in our business. We teach you what's happening now, what's working, how to implement in your business. We have experts that come in and do their training too. Same thing. We get people on our call. You see at the very bottom there, we have special guest trainers that come in. They share their knowledge, things that are working for them, and then they become part of our group, and then they're in there interacting, sharing, paying it forward. It's absolutely crazy. You have the opportunity to ask any questions you want. So I know yesterday we had people that were asking, hey, will you teach this? Can you cover that? Yes, for everything. Whatever is your question in this business, either Norm and I know the answer, or we know where to go find the answer, or we know where to get an expert to come in to get that answer for you. You will have an answer for everything that you need in this business. And what I love about it is we do this over-the-shoulder training too, where you can see, I'm actually showing in this new Amazon course I'm creating to our group, actual products that I'm actually going to be launching. Why I'm launching it, how I found it, how I found the suppliers, how I'm bringing it in, what I'm doing to market it, how I'm launching it, how I'm getting reviews, how I'm getting velocity. All the things that involve in this business, you're going to see it over the shoulder, step by step by step. And what's really cool about that is Norman and I, it's kind of like the odd couple. We do things so differently. And it's so valuable to our members because you get to see that, because what he's doing is working, what I'm doing is working. You can use whatever you want. It's going to work for you too. So we also have a private members Facebook group. It's a place where people can post their quick questions in there in between calls. And we can give people updates of what is happening throughout the week. Like I said, if something changes, we want to get the content out there to them right away. We have people in there that are paying it forward, answering questions when they can. This is where we request future training that you want to cover on live calls. The more complex things we will cover on the live calls, but the small things we can answer right in the Facebook group and usually get taken care of right away. We have files and discount links, so like that seller.tools, we share that in there. We have, in fact, I was on the call today. One of the things that we love working with is called Thomason. We don't have time to get into it today, but I'll tell you right now, it's something that we use in our business. They have a $600 a month program, $599 actually, a month. We have, because of our relationship with Dan Fernandez and Thomason, we actually get that deal for $50, actually $49 a month. So it saves you, let's see if I can do my quick math, $550 a month just in that one discount that we have in our members group. Because what we do, Norman and I, is we take out our affiliate commissions and we give you the best price. Because you know what? You're already paying us a monthly cost. We want to give you, we don't want to keep on sticking it to you. We want you to succeed. So we don't worry about these affiliate commissions. And like I said before, we have paying it forward members that if they know the answer, they answer it. We all get to places a lot quicker. We also have a private membership website. So a question that always comes up, and I'm sure it's probably already in the question box, hey, when's your calls? Oh, I can't make those calls live. What do I do? Well, that's great because we actually cover everything. We have everything covered. Every single replay, every single training we've ever done, any kind of SOP that we've created, anything that we've shared is all in our private membership site. We do have some of that in our Facebook group, but the majority of the content is in our private membership website. All of that is in there. If you can't make live calls, that's okay. You can when you eventually can. You can submit your questions before the call, and then you actually get them answered. You catch the recording. Your answer get your answer. If you want to do a hot seat and you can't be on the call live, not a problem. You submit your information. We do it, and then you get to see the recording of it. So that's the different things that we have in our private membership site. In fact, one of the things I don't have on there, actually I'm going to go through it in the bonuses, so I won't even mention it right here. But we also have a what's included at AMZ and Beyond. We give the opportunity to have a live, in-person, high-end mastermind opportunity. And basically what this is, twice a year right now. We had our last one in Hawaii. Our next one here, you see that bottom part, we have in Greece coming up. We do about a 5 to 6 day event, or night, I should say. This next one actually is 7 days and 6 nights. We go to an exotic location because we love going out and having fun together and seeing new things. We rent a few houses together where we all stay, we learn, we build those relationships, we have a blast. At these events, we do hands-on training. We're actually in your business, over your shoulder, us and experts that we bring in as well. In fact, the ratio is probably going to be like a 2-to-1, 2 experts for every 1 attendee. It's absolutely.
Hawaii was 1-to-1.
Last one was 1-to-1 because it was, yeah, we only had a few of members that came. We had a few extra people that showed up expert-wise, and we should be charging a lot more, but it is going to be stuff we're working in your business, hands-on stuff. We're masterminding as a group. We're working on your business with direct implementation, all the stuff we're teaching. You're going to be able to experience fun live excursions, sightseeing. We eat great food, go to restaurants. If you drink, you can do that too, live entertainment. We just have a blast. This next one, I'll share a link with you later so you can see what we're going to be doing in Greece. We actually have 3 spots available if that's something that's of interest to people. But we have a 1 day that we actually have we have a private yacht that we have rented just for our group that's going, and we're going to be out going out, seeing the Greek islands out in the Mediterranean for a whole day, eating, drinking, swimming, snorkeling, all that stuff, having a blast.
And working hard.
And we're always working hard, but we play hard too. These events are going to be strictly limited, so we only have up to 12 people. Like I said, right now we have 9 booked for this one. If that's all we have, great, then that's what we do. We can do that so we focus on you and your business needs, and we only do this for members in good standing. You're not going to hear about this event publicly. Besides, obviously, this call, you would have to be a member first, and then we talk about that. So in addition to Norm and I, we get experts. One of the experts that's coming on this next Greece one is Brian Johnson. He is a world-renowned PPC expert. Just having him there is going to be incredible in people's businesses. Just him looking at your sponsored ads account. Can you imagine what the benefit that could be? And that's just one of our other experts that's going to be there. This is a picture. Actually, Norman, you tell us about this picture.
Yeah, this is our the Hawaii 2018, and what a mixture of really great people. So we had the people that came out, and we had the experts. But what we didn't realize is that and I should back up. Some of the people that are in our group, we've got about 1/3 newbie, 1/3 $10,000 to $50,000, and then $50,000 to $1 million a month. And so what ended up happening is we thought, okay, trainers were great, I mean, incredible trainers. And then all of a sudden, some of the guys that came are training because they were, ManyChat, ClickFunnels. The one person was unbelievable with social media, and they started to do sessions for us. So at the end of the day, we had one-on-one training. Everybody had a blast, and the one father and daughter team that was there, they were doing pretty good on Amazon, and I just so happened I was working with them, and I saw something wrong in one of their listings in their back end, and I told them to change something, and it doubled their sales. Now, I'm talking $100,000 a month from a tweak. That's not their total sales. That was the tweak. And if they do this throughout their listing, they'll be able to make a lot more.
Which I was saying, which is why they were the first ones to sign up when Greece opened up, because they know how valuable this event is to them and their business. So, yeah, here is actually, we'll actually tell you more about the Greece one a little bit later, but I want to go through some testimonials. I'm not going to read these to you, but Norm was just talking about the father and daughter. This is the daughter, actually, that AMZ and Beyond has far exceeded all her expectations, and that we're a tight-knit group. We have lots of fun, and, so we started in September, and saying good things about us. You'll get these in the slides. You can see more about it. This one here is from Alejandro. He's in Mexico, and he's been with us for about 6 months now, and just how he heard about it and whatnot. What I love about what he talked about is he went out to Las Vegas, where an unorganized event. We just had a bunch of us that were going to ASD and the Prosper Show in Las Vegas, and I think it was about 11 or 12 of us met up there. And we just had fun together. We went out, we walked the floors together, we learned together, we hung out together, we went to happy hours together, we ate together, we watched the Syracuse Orangemen beat my Sun Devils, those are 2 of my favorite basketball teams. Unfortunately, that was a sad night for me, but I still had a blast, but it was around great people. But he said the group is priceless and full of knowledge. And this is Liz. Liz has been with us from the very beginning. She talks about why she loves AMZ Beyond. It's actually a rare opportunity, and that we also have a large network of people with knowledge and context that they share with us. So she said instead of spinning my wheels, that she can go directly to our contacts, and it's one of the biggest reasons why she joined was because of why a mentor is needed, and that's exactly what we're talking about there. Because while there are business coaches available locally, Amazon-specific mentors aren't readily available, or good ones for that matter. So I thank Liz for saying that information. So exclusive AMZ and Beyond bonuses, in addition to everything else that you're going to get in your membership, this is something you're also going to get. This is something I talked a little bit briefly about, but I actually am creating my own Amazon private label course. Those of you guys that don't know me, maybe, and some of you maybe do know me, we talked about the Amazing Selling Machine. I actually was brought on by Matt Clark and Jason Katzenbeck, who are the co-founders of that group, and I was one of the trainers for ASM 5. Myself, Shane Oglow, and Rich Henderson redid the whole course for the first time since the very inception, and that's the kind of quality that I'm going to be putting together for here. So I know how to put together a good course. We've already got tremendous feedback from the people that are in our group. We did our whole Module 1 about how to actually find product opportunities. I go way in detail, probably more depth than you've ever seen. And so you can hear my thinking. What do I do as a seven-figure seller to find these products? You're going to get this included for free. In fact, anytime Norm and I create something, we share it to our members. You get access to it for free based on being an active monthly member. So you'll get that. That's a course I'm going to be selling for $2,000 when it's done. You're going to get access to the last 3 months of our training and replays. So everything from, let me get this right, we got this month, May, April, and March. So I'm going backwards. Sometimes a little hard for me. But March, April, May. Those 3 months, you're going to get all those recordings from our calls, all the special guest calls we've had, all the training that we've done, and all the different SOPs and extra stuff that we've provided. You're going to get access to that. Everybody was paying us $297 a month for it. We're including to you for free for that, so that's $991 of actual real value. And the very last thing is the live mastermind event. So we talked about Hawaii and Greece. Eventually, you're probably going to want, as a member, you're going to want to go to one of these events. So we're going to give you a discount based on the package that you were to purchase. And that could be anywhere from a $297 deal all the way to $1,000. Basically, it's just a coupon that you're going to have in your pocket to use when you want to come, whether it be Greece, whether it be our next one that we're going to possibly have in February, whatever it may be. When you're ready to use it, say, hey, Dave, I packaged your year program. I have this $1,000 coupon. Give me $1,000 off the cost of this price, and boom, you get it. That's what you have. So that's another bonus for you in addition to everything else that we offer. So also, this makes it the no-brainer. No questions asked guarantee. You can come in, test us out, access all this training. You can be on all the calls for June. You can see all the calls from the 3 months prior to that. So basically, you have access to 4 months of material, and you can come to either myself or Norm and say, you know what, guys, this doesn't work out for me. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's not going to work. It's not where I'm ready for right now. Whatever the reason is, doesn't matter. Just say I want your money back. We give you your money back. No questions asked, guarantee. So then the question is, how much does AMZ and Beyond cost? So first of all, just so you know, this is one of our first public announcements of a program. The people we have in there have been people that have known us. Either they've met us at events or either been on our mailing list, followed us for years. Those are the people that we have shared this with. We wanted to make sure that we worked out all the kinks before we ever did a kind of like a public presentation about our group. And this is the first one that we're doing with Managed by Stats. And just so you know, too, we're only going to take it to a level that we feel comfortable with, that we can all be together intimate still and share. If it gets too much, then that's when we stop it. If it gets to be where we're over talking each other, then there's too many. We will actually take people out of the group and not promote it anymore. The regular pricing, though, this is not what you're going to have to pay today. But the monthly, this is what we want to start it out at $497 a month, and then a yearly, we would take off 2 payments would be about $4,997, which would save you about $1,000. But like I said, Philip Jepson is a good friend of mine. I've known him since the beginning of 2014. No, I'm sorry, I met him in 2013. Him and I both started with ASM. We took it to great levels, and we started masterminding together. We're invited with Matt and Jason, do things together. We've traveled together. Good friends of mine. I wanted to make sure that we gave you the best opportunity that we could to all his customers, so we're not going to have you pay these regular prices. So we're going to cross that out, and we're going to actually give you what the real cost is and make this a absolute no-brainer deal for you here today. Like I said, you have the guarantee. You have this no-brainer deal. this is the cost that we're going to offer you today. So for a special limited time for Managed by Stats members only, we're going to give you the starter plan, which is our $297 a month. So you pay $297 today, and you get the actual benefit of the $297 live event discount. So you'll get that. It's like getting the month free, so you can actually use a discount, and then it's like having that first month free anyway. Your second option, which is the better option, would be to prepay 6 months, would be $1497. After your 6 months up, you can either pay the $297 a month or you can cancel it, totally up to you. But this will give you then the $500 live event discount that you can use towards a live event, whether it be Greece or the next one. You'd have that in your pocket. A lot of people are taking advantage of the Success deal because it gives you the best payment option. You get the 12 months, a whole year for $2,997, and then it would be $297 after if you want to continue with that. This will give you the $1,000 off for the live event discount. So it's like getting this for like $2,000 because you're going to use that $1,000 for a discount, an absolute smoking deal. People have told us that for what we offer for $297, way too cheap. You guys won't know that until you get in there, obviously, but like we said, you have a 30-day money-back guarantee. Get in there, try it, see if it works for you, cancel if it doesn't work for you. Norman and I always say, if we are not making you money from this membership, then don't pay us. In fact, you know what? I want you to be making 10 times your investment monthly. All right, so your first month, you should have, if you're selling and you're selling on Amazon, we should be able to do things with you, and you implement it, of course, but the things that we're teaching you should be able to take this and get 10 times your value in the first month. Make at least a $3,000 profit. I'll tell you, most people do a lot more than that. If you follow the free training that we give you, you should do a lot more than that. But and then we didn't mention this before, Norm, but that seller.tools I told you about, we actually did that training for our group, and one of the members in our group, she took that the title that she changed based on the seller tools data from the competitors. She plugged that into her listing, and within 1 week, she doubled her sales.
Yeah, I remember that.
1 week. 1 week. She's very happy. She's coming to Greece as well. Can't wait to have her and her husband there. So the link for that, for you guys to join, all those options are going to be on this page. You just go to MBS. MBS is short for Managed by Stats. This is the Managed by Stats deal. mbs.amzandbeyond.com. Norman, if you could post that into our chat, go ahead and do that. We are going to get through them to answer your questions. I know there's a bunch of things that people are asking about the strategies and whatnot. We're going to get in there, answer those questions. Those of you guys that want to take advantage of this now, jump in there. Thank you for being on the call either way. If you want more information, we're going to give it to you. If you're good to go, great. Either way, I hope you take the stuff that we taught you here today, whether it be the actual strategies, whether it be the need to go find a mentor and be part of a mastermind group if it's not with us. Either way, take this stuff, utilize it, and tremendously increase your business. I want you guys to achieve your goals. I want you to achieve the success. It's out there for you guys to do it. There's tons of people we know that are doing it. If other people are doing it, that means it works. All right? If it's not working for you or you're stuck in a place, you need to go out there and get to that place. How do you get there? By doing a mentorship, by following a mastermind group. That's going to get you there. So real quick before we get into the questions, Norman, I know there's a bunch of them. I saw people were already asking about Greece. If you want to learn more about the Greece event, now realize we only have 3 spots available. So if this is something that you want to do, jump on it because we're going to take, we can only take obviously next 3. We're not going to go more than 12 people. We're already at 9. Greece2018.amzandbeyond.com will tell you all about our event that we're doing in Greece. The dates are August 9th to the 15th of this year. So we're going to meet in Athens and saying just south of there, very close to the ocean. I'm sorry, the Mediterranean, and just going to have an unbelievable time. This is everything you get in the AMZ our past training. Oh, I'm sorry, I totally forgot about this. We've been doing this since September of last year, and so you're only going to get, when you come into the group, you're only going to get the last 3 months. If for some reason, we've had people ask us this, so this is why we're offering it. If you want to get that first 6 months of content, you'll see some of the stuff that we offer there that have been just a small part that has been in the 6 months. If you want more information, I'll get it for you guys after the call or in our question and answers. But if you want the access of all the information from September to February, all our calls, all our training, all our special guests, all our SOPs, just the information about Thomason alone is well worth it. You can get that for a fraction of the cost. People that were actually paying the 6 months, $297 times 6 was $1,782. That you're able to get that private resource vault for only $497 one payment. This would be in addition to the membership. So it's just something if you want. People are asking about it. We're going to not offer this very long. In fact, we should charge a lot more because it's a significant discount. But if you want more information about that, go to vault.amzandbeyond.com and you can ask us more questions about that. So I will show you here as we're answering questions, what the membership site looks like and other things, but let's go ahead and get into it, Norm. I'm thinking you've been watching the questions there. I want to definitely answer these questions for people.
Well, let me get back. I'm just trying to see. I think we've answered most of the questions that are here, Dave. But, one of the things that I know that we should talk about is we go back and we talk about, a lot of people on this call are probably fairly new, or they're at a plateau and they're at 3,000, 5,000, 10,000. And, this might be the nudge you need to see if you can get over that. And one of the things, because of the 30-day guarantee, and anybody who knows me, I don't pitch. If somebody wants to come in, if somebody asks me a question, I answer people. Like if they ask me about branding, if they ask me about SOPs, here, I give them information. But like for this, if you're coming in, you want it for 30 days, and you see that all of a sudden you're just nudged off of, being on that plateau, and now you can see a result, awesome, stick with us. If you don't, and it doesn't work, you're not implementing it, there's got to be some reason that you can't get over that hump. And it's probably pretty simple. And, if you had either one of us probably take a look at it, but one of our group members, they'll probably resolve it and get you going. And that's the biggest thing. New members that, are afraid to do something, the what ifs. I'll give you another example. Our group, very experienced with importing. So sourcing and importing. One person, this has happened about 90 minutes ago. Somebody had issues with sourcing. So we gave them my sourcing agent, not my sourcing agent, my freight forwarder, who's also my kitting and assembly person. And get this, I had a problem that came up from Amazon that the magnets were falling out of these plastic letters. Problem was I had 480,000 plastic letters I had to stick bloody glue into and a magnet. Couldn't do it. I quoted it out here this is in the U.S., but it was $155,000 to do what I needed to have done. I went to my kitting person in China, had everything sent over there. 2 weeks of work, roughly 20 people doing it, and it cost $5,500. Other things like just not working with Alibaba and working through 5 different brokers and dealing direct with certain sourcing agents or learning how to source. You got people that can, help people do that. And the traveling, like we just did a trip out to China, and it wasn't part of our event. I was going, somebody else was going, and all of a sudden 9 of us met in China, and then we were traveling, we meet up everywhere. And it's not like we're even spending a lot of money. We're spending money, but the things that we're learning goes right back into our business and we save. So it's a bit of a tangent. I'm going off because I love networking, and I hate this brought Dave and I together. We met at the event, and all of us, or not all of us, Dave and I had a private conversation, and I was saying, look, I don't know what it is. I can make money on Amazon. I can make money on Amazon selling anything. What about you? And he said basically the same thing. Why, if I go and I talk to so many people, they can't get over 5,000, or they what if everything to death? And what if we do something together? I guess it was probably about 6 months after, Dave calls me up and says, hey, you remember what we were talking about? And sure enough, if we can help pass on that knowledge, or if our group can, it's worth it for you. So that's my spiel on it. I think it's a real advantage, and at worst, come in for free, try it out. If we can get you over $300 in sales, it's worth it.
It is, the people, it was funny because today, we had a call yesterday. The people that we had on, we had brand new people that came on board today. We were able to get them in time, which was tough, but we did because we had our call at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is when we have our calls second, third, and fourth Wednesdays of every month, if anyone was asking that. And people were just blown away. They said, we can't believe, and we did a 2.5-hour call. Usually our third call of the month is always our shortest call. and people were just blown away by the content we provide, and they said, wow, this is way, way worth what we're paying for this. So those of you guys that are coming on board, you'll get the recording of that as well, and it's what we do. You know, this is the things that we do, and if you guys come on board, great. Let's go through some of these questions. Let's see. We have
Gina has a question. Sorry, Dave, go ahead.
No, I was saying Victoria asked a question. I think she asked this a couple times. So she said, can you answer my PPC question regarding strategy number 1? I tried strategy number 1, catch-all campaign, with a $1.50 bid, and my ACOS was 180%. My PPC bids are super high in my niche, $5 plus bids, so low bids get me nothing. Other suggestions? The suggestion is do what we exactly told you to do, because I know people in all niches, Victoria, are doing that for the catch-all campaign. Totally different. $1.50 bid, not going to work for a catch-all campaign. It's a totally different strategy. Trust us. Put it in place. You will be shocked that you'll get sales come through. Now, this whole thing about competing in your PPC in that niche that you particularly are in, that's where we can help you on the member side. We can't do that on this call. What's the difference between ASM training and yours? Mariko is asking this question. Mauricio, sorry. So ASM provides great training. Obviously, that's where Norm and I started. A lot of people on this call started there too. ASM, though, is catered to the masses. All right. ASM also does quick pieces of training. So I cater the training that I'm doing right now so you guys can hear my thinking. You can actually see over the shoulder. You'll see me actually launching products. You'll see me then taking it from nothing from full fruition all the way to success. You're going to watch that. And we're going to be doing it on an intimate level, so you'll be able to follow along with me. I'll be working with you on that. You don't get that from ASM. All right, ASM is catered to the masses. We cater to our small members group. Anything you want to add to that, Norman?
Yeah. First, when you're working with our group or with us, you also have our knowledge. So just what I was talking about before, if you wanted to do this, and like with ASM, it's excellent. But if you want to get an information about, where do I find somebody who's going to do product inspection? What do I need to do? How do I set up product inspection? How do I save wiring fees? And, should I use a foreign exchange bank? What will that do? What are ways to cut costs? These are things that we discuss in the group, or you can post on Facebook and we get back to you. Images, certain things that we do with images. Today, we talked about press releases. Most people don't use press releases. Well, how do you not waste your money on junk press releases and syndication? And here are the resources. So it's resources. And the other thing is the network I hate using gurus or experts, but we have Ernest Epps, probably one of the top Google guys. Rob Burns, incredible video person. Kevin King came out to an event and was training. And that's another thing I want to point out. People come out and, Kevin belongs to another group, and people say,
that question came up, so go ahead and answer it.
Okay.
What are your thoughts about Illuminati or Northbound Academy? So just write that in.
All right. So this is perfect. So we are the mentoring group. Okay, we will take you, and it's a small group, and we'll guide you where you need to be. If you have a question, if you need a hot seat, even the contacts, the network that comes in, so you can talk to them directly. If you're going to an Illuminati, they're excellent too, but it's a different crowd. So Kevin came out and was training at one of ours. Dave presented over at their last event. I mean, and we didn't promote over there either. Like, they have their group, we have our group. We do have a lot of overlap. There are some people that do overlap, but they're doing strategies and tactics. We're doing, push you, like kind of molding you and getting you the information you need to build your business, like SOPs, exit strategy. What do you need to build a brand? There's so many different experts that we have within the group. And when they stay on, you're tied to them. Like our Hawaii group, the people that came out, so there was Kevin King, Leo Scuvio, David Erie. What ended up happening there, and there was a few others, but everybody got to just basically ending up talking on Skype, and now if they have a question, they're contacting them directly, and they have no problems with that, but it's all through the group. So these are the things that we can provide that are a little bit different than the Illuminati. I don't know much about the other one that you mentioned, but I'm a member of the Illuminati. I love the group, and I'm a member of a few other groups, but this group is a completely different purpose. I've never seen a group set up this way.
And one thing I'd add to that, Norm, is, like I said in the beginning, we use the Zoom platform, but not the webinar, the meeting, where we actually see each other. We are actually communicate. So it's not here where you're actually typing stuff in. You're talking to us. You're screen sharing stuff for us. Illuminati will share some great hacks and different tricks and stuff like that, but you can't share anything with them. You're not getting feedback on your business. I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't share my product in that group. No offense. I just know there's some people in there I wouldn't want to know what I sell. Well,
here's I didn't realize I had it. I'm going to share this for a sec.
Here, I got to stop my screen and hold on a second.
Okay.
Go for it.
Yeah, we just got off the call. This is one of our calls right here. And so everybody's and this was at the beginning. We had about 29 people on the call today. And then the people that weren't available because of time, they can go back and watch the recording. That's all I wanted to show.
You notice how calm I look and how stressed you look in that picture?
I always look stressed.
Yeah. It's funny. I didn't notice that till after, but Norm he's the stressor of the group, and I'm more the laid back person. Like when he was freaking out at the beginning of this call, but it's working out, right? It's working out. So we eventually got to figure it out. Let's answer some of these questions from way back earlier in the presentation. So yes, the slides will be available. I will email them to all the people that registered for today and yesterday's webinar, just in case there's different ones. I'll put them all into the same thing. We'll send out a replay. We'll send out the slides, and we'll send out the SOPs as well. So you have access to all of that. Let's see. We answered that one. And so this goes back to the headline ads, Norman. Can I do this if I only have 2 ASINs?
No, I did type it in. So headline ads, you need 3 ASINs, okay? It doesn't matter. Like, let's say that you only have 2 products. It's easy to create a third one. You can either make a parent-child variation and just create another product with a 3-pack. Now you've got 3 products, and you can start selling. A matter of fact, most of the people that start doing headline ads don't have multiple products. They have 1 product, 3-pack, 5-pack. So you can easily do that.
All right, the next one is from Gina. She says, hi, I have a live product there right now. So it must be on Amazon. Now doing PPC, but not getting a lot of impressions. Also, 2 hackers on my listing, enabling me to I guess not enabling me to get the buy box. Any suggestions? So obviously, unrelated to what we're talking about here, but real briefly, Norm, how would you answer that?
So I'm not quite understanding. So we've got... we have a product that's not getting a lot of impressions, and it's because of hijackers. Is that correct?
It sounds like she has 2 hijackers in her. She doesn't have the full buy box, and she's also having a problem with PPC. She's not getting impressions.
Okay, so first of all, get the hijackers off. That usually takes 24 to 72 hours. And there are ways to do this, and there's definitely ways to get them off your listing in a good way or in a bad way.
Yes, totally agree. More than likely with PPC, you're probably not bidding enough or not the right keywords, and we can help work with you with that. Brian Johnson, like I said, who's going to be agrees. He's also going to be our next, he's going to be as a live guest on our next call, the first call of June. I think it's June 13th. Yep. So you'll learn, probably the stuff you'll learn on that call, you'll be able to make a difference on your PPC. But yeah, the getting the hijackers off there is not a problem.
Yeah, and it could be as simple as just notifying them with a letter. I mean, if you have to, maybe you have to buy their product and just show that. Maybe you can show that it's a counterfeit product, and that's a whole different topic. But start off with a letter just saying that you own the brand, and we are talking Seller Central, right? Not Retail Arbitrage.
Good question. I'm not sure. So I hope we're talking about Gene, a private label, but go ahead and just respond in there because it's totally different if you're not doing private label.
Yeah, because then that's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, either way, we'll be showing you how to do it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Living Squad says for number 3, which I don't. Let me see which one number 3 was offhand. I should put the list up. But when I have added a brand to back end, Amazon doesn't show my ads. Oh, okay. It happened a couple of times. So I mentioned this, that there are times that in that strategy I showed where you put the comparative brand names and their back end terms. Sometimes it doesn't come up. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. If you try it, if it works, great. If it doesn't, then there's nothing you can do about it. But try it because sometimes it doesn't work. He says, so how do you know which brands won't block all back ends and ads? You don't until you try it. You have to go through and you have to put it in there and see what's working and then what's not working. And if ones are not working, you'll find keywords that you're indexed for. In fact, if you have seller.tools, it'll tell you what keywords you're indexed for. And if you see things that there's X's that you're not indexing for, then you say, okay, there's a problem because I know I put all these keywords in the listing. Where's that problem? You fix the problem and you go from there. Beth Pittman says, I really need to watch this again. It's a little complicated. It's just, Beth, because we came out with so much information. We love over-delivering, but you'll have the replay, you'll have the slides, and you can take advantage of the SOPs as well to implement the stuff. So you'll have all this stuff. And if you come into our group, you'll also have access to us to help you implement it. Let's see. Dan says, how and where do I access the SOPs? We're going to be posting them tomorrow. We'll email them out to everyone and post them into our Facebook group as well. I launched my product a month ago following ASM 8 guidelines, but it didn't work. Would your subscription help me with this issue, Norm?
Let me think. Absolutely. Here, I'm going to show my screen again, Dave. And this is something we were doing today. And this was just using a tactic. Now look when you're working with, it could be when you're working with any product launch, there's a standard. Like if you're going out and you're taking a course, okay, but everyone is slightly different. And as you learn more and more and more about Amazon or e-commerce, you're going to know there's a few things that you got to keep in mind. You've got to keep in price, competition, sales volume, sales velocity, and what type of promotions work together to make things stick. So one of the things we were showing today is 3 different ways outside of the norm to make things stick. Both of these products were launched on April the 23rd using press releases. This is the smaller one. What we're showing is I wanted to show the group that it is still sticking today and how we did it. And, this is a brand new product launch. The same thing over here. Okay, this is a different pattern. And what we did is I was showing people like it's kind of like a stock. If you're starting to see that it's stalling, what you can do and how to do it to get it to continue up. And then if it starts to plateau, okay, there's either, I don't want to get into it, but somebody might be using bots where you can't get into position 1 or 2, but you're plateauing. But you know that, okay, now as long as I keep doing some small things, I'm going to stay in position. These are the type of things that you can't put into a course. This is like, it depends on the product. Everybody asks, what's your product launch? I said, it's different every time, but I kind of use the same components. So that's I just wanted to show that, Dave.
Perfect. All right, a few more questions in here. Tell you what, let's do last call for, well, I shouldn't say that. I'll get through all these questions. I do want to show you just what our group looks like in the Facebook group for those of you guys want to see it. Also what it looks like, the membership site on the back end, so you can see what that looks like and the things that are in there. Jill said, how many people were in our group today? As far as the active members, I believe we're about 70, 75 people. Our goal is to keep it under 100. We get no more than really half people live on the call at any time. So I put that in there as well. It's very close, intimate group. And we want to keep it that way, like I said before, because we don't want people over talking each other. Plus, we want to make sure we focus on the people that are in there. And let's see. I live in Colombia, have been for 4 months in the Amazon business, and only have a 21 5-star reviews, most of them from friends and family and awesome customer service. As I don't live in the U.S., what would be one tiny tip for me to get more U.S.-based reviews?
First of all, don't use friends and family. They leave an imprint.
Yeah, friends and family is not the way to go, Mauricio. Mauricio, I think is how you say it. But no, you don't want to use Facebook groups at all. Some of the things that we already talked about today is ways to get those reviews. There's ways of, besides what we even talked about today, we talked about Thomason using influencers as a way to get reviews. There's lots of different things. There's about everything that we teach in our group is different ways that you can get reviews. There's so many different ways. If you only have,
it's not for a 5-minute discussion. Like,
yeah,
just,
not all.
we talked about getting reviews through personalized emails, and that's an hour-long discussion right there. But
and
yeah, there's definitely ways in the group that we're always talking about stuff.
Always. And launching too. People were asking about launching. There's always different launch strategies we're talking about. It's different, like Norman said, every time, depending on your product and your category and all that stuff. Victoria says, how many reviews do you need for any of these strategies? Any tips for getting reviews? So we just talked about the review side of things. Again, we don't have much time to get into that besides what we talked about. We gave you a lot of stuff today that's going to get your reviews. But the need for, how many reviews do you need for any of these strategies? None. You don't need any reviews for the strategies we taught today, right? Not any. I have some products that I've been launching. I'll start putting paid ads and things. I'll get things. I had one product, Norma, remember this, for the first couple months of the year. I had a product selling 20, 25 a day before I had a review. It was ridiculous. It made no sense. Reviews are hard to come by these days, but it doesn't mean you can't sell. But we do have strategies to get reviews, and now I've put some of the strategies into place, and now we're getting reviews for the product, and works really well. Cara Moon says she hasn't decided yet. She's looking at the either 6 or 12-month plan. Great, Cara, whichever works best for you. Obviously you're going to get a better discount for the year if you could do that. Mauricio says, thank you for your personalized answers. Great. And this is how we do things in our group. We will actually be talking to you, though, so it's a little bit different in that regard. So I think we've got, oh, wait, there's more over here. Join late, 19-month-old, fought his nap. Will there be a replay later this week? I appreciate your time. That's from Ryan. So, Ryan, as long as our technology is working, we are showing in our thing here that it is recording. So as long as the recording goes through, it will be posted tonight. I will have that emailed out. I will also have the SOPs and the slides sent out to you guys as well. So let me go through and get out of this presentation here. I'm going to bring up my screen and share screen here. Norman, do you see the membership site there?
I do.
All right, perfect. So when you guys sign up for the members group, this is what the inside of the membership is going to look like. And if you click on here, first I should go right back to the very beginning because you want to make sure that you watch this because this is Norm welcoming you. It's probably the most important part of the course is learning from Norm and watching the welcome. Sure. He loves doing the welcome.
I love being in the spotlight. Oh, yeah.
If you haven't figured that out yet, he sees blushing already. Look at it. You can tell that right with all that white beard that has around his face. So if you click on this, and we have fun if you guys haven't figured it out yet. We have fun. We have fun with our people. If you go here to view course, this is what you get when you become a member. This is actually looking at, I think, my wife's who's never in here, but I have an account for her. You'll come in, you'll follow these onboarding steps in lesson 1 and the mutual NDA, which, again, is about, again, the protection for all of us so we can share and feel comfortable sharing. You'll then see the mentoring coaching replays from the last 3 months. After I get off this call today, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to render, edit, and download the one that we just did earlier today. And then in a little bit, the new lesson 3 will be up there as 523 for today's call that we just did. You'll have access to that. So those are the last 3 months' calls. The last 3 months of training. We have a training that I did on Pinterest and using Pinterest effectively for your product sales. This is another great way to get reviews. You guys are asking about reviews. There's a Pinterest strategy right there. Get product reviews, get sales, get momentum, rank for keywords. All that stuff is in there. Seller tools training. I go into a lot more depth. I actually, in this training, is the one that I showed that I told you that one person, Joanna, was able to take it, and in a week, she doubled her sales. That's more detailed training that I did with you guys today, much more detail. Finding new product opportunities. This goes through and shows you how to go out and find different product opportunities through, I think I used the viral launch tools in this one. So I use market intelligence and product discovery. And this one here is standard operating procedures, the secret to your e-commerce success. Norman goes through this training here. And
yeah, somebody yesterday asked if we have any SOPs, and I think we should make it. We do SOPs for all of our lessons. Like both Dave and I do SOPs, but I think for my launch strategy, just for different combinations, I have 279.
Yeah, that's just for the launch stuff. So, and we do share a lot of these things with you guys. You'll see then, but once we go below this extra training that we have done, we have the guest trainer. Now, this only shows 3 guest trainers. 3 guest trainers. There actually is 3 other guest trainers in here. That the first call of every month, this one, and this one. There was a guest trainer. You just can't see it in there when you click on. Actually, I'll show it to you. If you click on the 5-9, you see Phil Jepson. All you guys know Phil. He was in here. He did about an hour-and-a-half training about how to use his managed by stats effectively. Some of you guys that are MBS owners, you probably don't even know some of the stuff he's talking about.
And you should watch it. It was really
incredible. This one right here from April 11th. This one we had Achilles, and I can't say his last name. Daskalakis. He's based in Athens, and he is actually one of our experts that's going to be in Greece with us. He lives there. We have him coming in with his business partner, Constantine, and he talked about expanding into Europe, how to do that effectively. And then our call from March 7th, we had our special guest, Lil Roberts, on, who she was talking all about taxes and how to effectively take advantage of the tax system using, obviously legal, and how to best use that to our advantage. So there's all that content there. So let me come back into the course here.
Dave, and with that content, if there's any downloads or downloadables, they just have to click and, they can, there's also download. It's not just the training. If there is anything that's added, you get that to download as well.
So the downloads are over here. Yeah. So we have the video, we have the PDF of our slides that we use so all the coaching that we do, and then the timestamp that Norm was talking about. Everything is broken down exactly what was talked about. So if I click on that, you'll see the timestamp from this particular call. We talked about with Phil, talked until 1:23. We did members updates for 7 minutes. We talked about Thomason for a long time. An hour and 36 minutes and 50 seconds. We talked to Thomason. Then we did bundling. We talked about membership Hawaii. And then we had questions and answers. All this stuff is covered in here in fine detail. So you get all that. Let me go back to what else is in here. Now we talked about SOPs. These are the SOPs that come with the membership that you get from the last 3 months. We have all these different press release stuff. We talked in detail about press release stuff. More is coming. Negative reviews, handling FBM orders, all this stuff. Cerebral, how to use Helium 10 Cerebral. We talked a little bit about Cerebral. There's a whole SLP of how to do it, and right here as well. AMS, how to do headline ads and stuff like that. Very detailed. Thomason, the content, new distribution, this was added to Thomason like a month ago. That's right. Norm came right away and talked about it as soon as it was new. Headline ads, there's the one we just talked about. We gave you guys this today. This is the one you're going to be getting a copy of, that SOP, for everybody who was on the call. And then we have different resources in here that we give. And this one actually shouldn't be here. This interview with, I'm sorry. This is an interview that Ernest did with Norman and I. So just, you learn more about us is in there. So that's the membership. If you come in here to the course that you guys are going to get, this is module 1 that you guys already have access to. How to find products on Amazon, manually searching, how we do it. Searching for product opportunities, narrowing it down, getting the keyword data for this. This right here, I didn't add it up yet, but I believe it is 5.5, 6 hours of content in here already, and that's just from module 1. And then we talked about the private vault that is an extra 497. This is all our calls from September all the way through the end of February. So you see all that information is in there, along with the guests we had as well. We have all the extra training that came in here, tons of it. See, this is why it's fully worth $497. We probably, Norman, should have charged more.
Just in Thomason, there's 5 hours of how to use influencer marketing.
That right there, lesson 22 to 26, is 5 hours of Thomason information that you want to know how to get reviews, you want to know how to launch successfully, full price buys and all that. All that information is in there. Influencer marketing, getting your first reviews. There's oh my gosh, this call from Rob Green. Some of you guys know him. He is a brilliant expert marketer. He actually talked about a strategy in here that will save you money immediately on your import fees, those of you that are importing into the United States. And he also shows in there how to find most of your competitors, how to find who their suppliers are. Totally worth it right there. And then we have all these other SOPs. This is all the extra, the 497 vault. And then if you go into our members group, so let's see, let me just close out some of these things here that have popped out. If you go to, so this is our public group, but I want to get to our private group.
One of the things that you were saying about Rob Green, so he was telling you how to find the supplier, so you can go in and find your competitor's supplier, but how to stop that from happening on your shipments. That was the other cool thing.
Oh, yeah, so then people can't find your suppliers.
Right.
A little tweak, but no one knows about. And he wasn't publicly talking about it anywhere besides in our group. So I don't know if you could see that, Norm, but at least it does show you, that's our welcome message in there, how to whitelist our thing. Here's some things that we've been talking about. Actually, this is someone that's brand new, just came into our group. People are talking about, for the next call, they want to talk about ManyChat, so we'll talk about that. Different things. This person right here, Christine, was asking about a hot seat, so we're going to schedule her for the next call. This whole thing. There's people coming here asking questions. This is interesting. Oh, we totally forgot to talk about this today, but this is something that one of our members, Samesh, posted and talks about algorithm changes and how this all affects. I'm sure this is going to be a topic we're going to be talking about a lot.
It's a pretty active group.
Very active group. Yeah. So all this stuff's in here. Like we have a few of these members who just welcome themselves because they just came in. We announce the calls. We do it on Zoom. All that stuff. I just joined. Here's all the stuff. Here's someone sharing good recommendations for a press release engine. And this is Press Advantage. Norm has PR Reach. He actually owns that. Tons of different things that are in here. Is there anything else I'm missing, Norm, that I haven't shared yet? That's
a lot of info.
Oh, my gosh. Yes, it is. So let's see. Joel says control, minus or plus. So I guess I could have made it so it wasn't zoomed in. Sorry about that. I guess I should have looked over there a little earlier, Joel. But let's do this. Let's do last call for questions. We still have, so we're almost at 2 hours, although we started 10 minutes late because of the great tech issues we have with Zoom sometimes. But there are 48 of you that are still live on this call. So
I can't believe that.
Since we have last call for questions, there's a reason why you're on. Either because you want to try to milk us for information, or there's something that's preventing you from getting to our members group that you need to know. You want to know answer of some kind of questions. You might be on the edge. You want to get off that edge and to the right side. So why don't we do this? The last few people that are on here, if you have not joined AMZ and Beyond yet, tell us what's the reason why you haven't joined, and let's see if we can help point you in the right direction. So let's go ahead and let's answer those last few questions, and then we'll call it a day. And if you we had someone raise their hand before. I just thought of it, Norm. Are you still showing that? Because I don't know if that's still there. I remember it coming in when I was presenting. I saw a hand raise thing go up.
Oh, let me just see here. I didn't notice it.
Ann Ferris says, still on because you're awesome. And I know she's talking about Norm. So that's okay. I'm striving to be better, but I strive to hang with his awesomeness and his awesome beard. You see, I'm considered a little beard. I don't even think I'm considered any kind of beard. Norm, you probably don't even think I have a beard.
Not really.
See?
It's more like scratch.
That's not what my wife says. Magda says, thank you so much. You're welcome. Let's see. Maria says, I love the idea of working with you and have you both as mentors. Awesome, Maria.
Awesome.
Have you joined yet? Hopefully you join. Ann says, it's the beard. So, Ann, I'm curious, is it my beard? Is it Norm's beard? Why are you sticking around? You're probably, if it's the beard, she's sticking around for Norm's beard.
Beards.
Let's see. Jill says, try and decide if I can afford it. Sales are down and only one product right now. Okay, that's a great question, Jill, and that's something that we do hear a lot. And Norm, I know this is something we do answer this a lot. How would you answer that question? Because she's trying to decide if it's worth it when she only has one product and she needs to get sales up. What would you say to that?
First of all, you are our ideal person because this is what we're meant to do. But usually, with the 30-day guarantee, come and check it out. If you can't get your sales up, if you can't ask the questions, and you don't get those answers and you don't see a little bit of a bump in your sales, then, don't spend another $1. But I think by trying us out for 30 days and tapping into our resources, we should be able to do something to help you out, because you can continue, and this is why I say it's perfect. You're the person that we're trying to work with because you're putting your stuff on Amazon. You've probably gone through some sort of course, but you can't just get it to that next level. And why? Is it competition? Is it your images? Is it this? Is it that? We can break it down, maybe do a hot seat, and give you some guidance. And just like Dave was talking about with our one, the one lady that came on, and we doubled her sales in a week. So we got her back because she was actually thinking of leaving because her sales were they were plateaued. She came on, and then we put her on the hot seat, and we got her sales going.
Yeah, and she actually she was borderline. She had the same kind of issue as you do, where she was trying to decide if she was coming to Greece or not. She had already put her deposit down, but she was saying that her sales had dropped a little bit, and she wasn't sure because she wanted to make sure she had money to pay her next inventory order. But she knows the importance of Greece because she's heard other people that were at Hawaii. She sees how we work together, and she knows the experts that we're having there. So she knew that impact it would have on her business. And so she just told us, was it earlier this week, Norm? I think it was. I think it was Monday. She said, I got it. We bought our tickets. We're coming to Greece. So she was so excited because she did increase her sales and made her feel comfortable. So, yeah, I would just say, get in there, Jill. And, if it doesn't work for you, then get your money back. If we're not helping you increase your sales, don't pay us, like I said earlier. But like Norman said, get in there, take advantage of it, increase your sales, and then stick on if we can continue making your business grow. So
we'll give you the answers. You have to take action.
Yeah, definitely. It's just us giving it to you is not going to do anything unless you're taking the action with it. Let's see. Ann Ferris said, this is a response to the beard. Oh. Sorry, Dave. It's Norm.
Thank you,
But
Ann.
then she said, but your beard is great too.
Oh, it's getting there.
Big hug from Vancouver, Magda said. And she said, I wanted the vault, but I'm going to apply what I'm going to get this month. And then I'll use the money to pay the full price on the vault and Greece. Awesome, Maria.
Cool.
I can't guarantee you that Greece is still going to be available. But if it is, great. I will tell you this, that, if you think that you're going to go to, you want to go to Greece, because, you can take the $2,000 is not refundable, but you can put that towards any future event. So if you're going to eventually go to an event, you can get the deposit down to lock in your spot. And if for some reason Greece doesn't work out for you, either personal reasons, business reasons, whatever the reasons may be, financial reasons, you can push that back to the next event or future event. Totally up to you. But I know that since we just brought on a bunch of members, there are people that are talking about Greece and there's only 3 spots. So anyway, something you want to think about, we can talk about later about it. Ann Ferris says, I'm super excited to work with you guys and 10X my business. Minimum, Ann, minimum. My business is going well, but I know I have so many ideas. I have so many ideas for improvement that I just don't know how to tackle. Totally get it. More. There was a hand raised. Cara Moon raised her hand just recently.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You want to?
I am.
All right, we're gonna mic you up. Cara. Paul Easton is on. Hey, Paul. I thought you were catching. You were on him last night, I think, or at least I saw you on the chat there. Or I saw you with a comment. Paul Easton and I were both ASM2 members. I first met Paul in January of 2013 in Austin. Paul, I remember we had a great time. Anyway, he says, okay, I'm going to watch the replay and make a decision. I've jumped into products too quick in the past, want to be sure and be for the long term. Totally agree, Paul, not a problem. Make sure you make a good decision with this. Do know the bonuses and stuff are only going to be available until, I think, Friday at midnight Pacific. And I'll be happy to answer some questions with you over the phone if you want to talk about it as well.
Hey, Kara, for some reason, this is that tech issue, but I can't assign you to come on and talk. So can you throw your question into the chat room?
Let me see if...
oh, maybe you can, Dave. I don't have the ability to.
Yeah, I might be able to. Let me see. Victoria says, if we try it for 30 days and then we want the full year deal, will it still be available? Good question. So
I think if they're committing to it, what do you think, Dave? It's not, that question's never come up.
It came up one time. I remember it came up one time before, and we had the person that purchased. I think they started with like the monthly. Yep. Like the second weekend, they then contacted me to do the year.
Right. Yep. I remember that.
The one thing I don't think I'm trying to think the deal would be there for the price itself, but not for the discount for the live event. So if that's something that's important to you, Victoria, that's the only thing you won't get would be the discount. So we could still offer you that package deal We do that for all our members. If you want to pay in advance and buy a package, we'll give you that package, but we don't always have those bonuses for the event. That's really a special deal. But we can talk about it if it's something that you want to do. What you could always do too. I mean, if you can do the 30-day money. I'm sorry if I speak. You could do the 30-day money back guarantee on the 6-month and the 12-month package. So it doesn't matter. You'll still get refunded if it doesn't work for you. So that's a way to think about it as well. Ramundo says, what do you do when 2 of your members are selling the same product? You answer that, Norman. I'm going to find a way to get Karamoon on here.
This is sort of business 101 for me anyways. Back in the day, I'm an old guy. We used to go to trade shows, conferences, and we'd meet with our competitors. We'd go out, maybe have a meal, maybe have a drink, and we discuss things. When Amazon came around, I've never seen so many petrified, paranoid people not wanting to share their product. Because here's something. I have there's another guy that is pretty well known in the industry, and we know exactly our product. We sell the exact same product. And when we get together at conferences, we sit down, we have a cigar. What are you doing? What's going on with your product? Oh, I see you're doing this with your packaging. Oh, yeah. And guess what? This guy is running traffic over to the page that I'm on, and it's up to me to to get him that whole Brady Bunch effect. I'm going to have the best looking listing. I want them to click on my listing. So we're kind of going back and forth. I don't have any problems with that type of thing with competitors. What I do find is that if you do have similar products, all it is you're outdoing each other by just going out, taking a look, like images. Are your images better? If they're not, you better, and you better outdo it. There's no your titles, your description. I mean, there's so many things that you can do, and it's competitive. It's just if you don't have traffic, and if you don't have competitors, you're really not in a business. I'd rather know my competitors than not know those competitors, and I've got no problem with it. Like when you come into the group, Dave and I, we share stuff, we share our brands. So yeah, it's not a big deal. And I don't think we do. There might be 1 or 2 people that have competitive products, kind of in the beauty area. I think there's 1 or 2 people that have that.
Yeah, okay, I don't know if I was muted or not. Yes, there are, and it doesn't matter. If every single one of us on this call, so there's still 41 people and us, so it's 43. If we all actually sold the same product, we'd have success. And there's so many different ways of doing it. So we are all about the abundance mindset, and we don't worry about it one bit. Now, if we with our people with the whole NDA thing, if you don't have a product that is selling a certain niche, we encourage you to find other stuff than to try to compete with us, because there's so many different avenues. But it wouldn't bother us. It wouldn't be a big deal because it wouldn't affect us one bit. You would be doing a product totally different than when we would do it. Going after a wholly different, the same thing, like, for example, we're talking about Illuminati and these other groups that are out there. We attract different people. It's all different likes of people. Even if we're all doing the same thing, we would have our own unique groups. And then you'd have some people that are, just like buyers. You'll have people buying the competitors as well. It doesn't matter. If anyone wants to ask us a live question, we can definitely do that, and we can put you on. Otherwise, we're about ready to close out. I think there's a few more questions that came in. So Mauricio says, if my new inventory arrives in the middle of June, I will still be able to have you as my mentors. I would definitely start with you once I am able to live again with my listing. So I guess he's worried about, I think we said another question. Well, we answer that after, but I'm not sure what you would wait for, Mauricio, but we would be available as long as we're not closing it out. I know we're doing a promotion with Brian Johnson next week. If we do get to the point that we can't accept anymore, then there would be a waiting list. But that would be the only reason, with the exception of not having the bonuses. So if I'm live again with my listing, if you're having issues with your listing, that's probably why you need us. That might be a reason to bring us on sooner rather than later. And then he says, another question, what's the difference between Amazing.com and Your Awesome membership? It doesn't even compare, because Amazing.com is just a bunch of courses. It's just all these different access of courses.
Hey, there we go. Amazing. We're mentoring, and they've got incredible courses.
It's definitely not a mastermind or a mentor. Kara said again, really sorry, didn't want to ask a lot of questions. I will wait until after. Okay. Sylvia says, I missed yesterday's webinar and only an hour of today's webinar. How can I watch the replay? So Sylvia, we're going to actually send out the replay. Hopefully it'll be later tonight, if not by tomorrow morning at the latest, along with the SOPs and the slides as well. Kara says, thank you a lot for what you share. I appreciate it. Mauricio says, thank you very much. And let's make sure I got everything. Maria says, I need to be on the hot seat. My sales are low as well. I have a new shipment coming in 2 weeks. I need to learn how to increase my sales and start growing my business. Well, Maria, if you're in our group, then just request it. We'll get you on the one after Christine's, because Christine already got the one for the next one.
And one thing, Dave, if anybody is at that point where their inventory is coming in and they're thinking about joining, well, don't throw up a listing, and make sure you don't throw up an image, so your listing will be suppressed until we get a chance to review it. Yeah. Because the way that you get out of the gate and get Amazon's attention is going to make the difference between a winning product and a losing product. So if your product's on the water and it's going to be coming in, you've got your images all set, don't put it up. You can put your titles up and you can put all that. We can fix all that, or it's maybe perfect. But your images, we just want to make sure that everything fits so your listing is optimized. You have digital coupons, coupon stacks, the proper listings. Do you have questions? Are your questions optimized? All this sort of stuff. So just keep that in mind.
Yep, perfect. And Maria says, I am in. I just waiting for you to guide me. You guys tell me what to do. So, yep, we'll tell you what to do, and then you take the action and make it happen. That goes for everybody. Whether you join us or not, take action, make a difference in your business, and hopefully you guys found value in this. 2 hours of great. I think we try to make it more targeted and get to the points in there. You'll have access to this later. If you want to ask us more questions, if you have questions about this membership or you're watching the replay, or about Greece, or about the private vault, you can go ahead. You can ask those questions in our our public Facebook group. You also have our email or Skypes that you can get from those sales pages as well, and we'll be happy to answer them for you and help get you to the right place if you want to be a part of what we're doing. So thank you guys for your time and for being on here live. Some of you for the second time, I appreciate that. Yeah. We hope to have this live webinar up very soon. The replay of it. Joel says, which one's better, the MB or Vault? So the membership or the Vault? The membership is better, Joel, because you'll have access to the current stuff that's happening. The Vault's just the recording stuff. If you want us to mentor, if you want to be mentored and take care, be part of the mastermind, we said that's our most secret weapon, and your secret weapon, you'd want to be part of the membership. So if you had to decide between the two, do the membership, because you'll keep on getting the new stuff, and you'll be able to go from there. So he says thank you. No. Norm, you want to close us out? And Norm, thank you again for your time. And, you know what? Sorry, Mauricio has one quick more question. We'll take this as the last one. I close my listing, and we'll relist it once my inventory arrives. Is this good? Yeah. It just what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have a proper relaunch, because if your strategy, it's always going to be harder. If you manually close the listing before it ran out, you'll probably have an easier chance of relaunching and getting the rankings back. So you never want to let Amazon, to go out on Amazon. And then you just have to take a look at a relaunch strategy. It is harder to launch. You just have to put more time and effort into it. But yeah, absolutely. And using seller tools, actually that's what it was designed to do. The guys who designed it, they were trying to go and buy companies and bring to life closed listings. So that's a great tool to use. Yeah, you just got to make sure that you relaunch it correctly, Mauricio, and you'll be doing much better than before it's sold out. So, Norm, close us out. And, Norm, I thank you for your time today, because I know we weren't planning on doing this encore presentation, but we knew it was important because we had more people that were asking. They want to see the replay. We have to get you guys a replay. So thank you, Norm, for taking your time today and coming back on. And, Dave, thank you for your time today. You know what? I'm amazed at the questions again. There was quite a few questions. And, everybody, thank you. It's 40 people on the line, for 2 hours. I hope you got some value, and I'd like to be able to see all of you over at AMZ and beyond. Even if we don't, hey,
like I said at the beginning, and I think Dave's the same, if you see us or if you need a help or like with an image or anything like that, if you see it as a conference, come over and say, hey, can you help me with this? No problems whatsoever. Now, if it's a whole brand strategy, that's a whole different story. But guys, it's been a real pleasure talking with you, and hopefully we see you in the mastermind.
Have a great one, guys. Take care.
See you later.